Well, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome. And hello, Nick. How are you?
Hi, Marie. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. And Jasper wants to say hello to everyone as
Hi,
well.
Jessie.
So I know, yes, it's been we've been saying it's been extremely warm here for our winter, which is August, and but I think we will get I think we're going to have a couple of weeks where it goes back to the cold winds, and then we'll be out of it. But oh my goodness, it's been amazingly beautiful. So I don't know how everyone else is going, where you're all at. So, but yeah, and we've got some great dreams that have come through today. So hi, Christine. We've got our beautiful Christine on, and Kaboo. Hello. And it was interesting today. I thought the topic is about how do our loved ones that have passed over visit us in our dreams. How do they communicate? And I really wanted to get other people's viewpoints on this, if anyone can remember dreams that they've had with their beautiful loved ones in it. Because like I said, I had a dream with my beautiful friend last week, and I opened the book and a moth flew out, and I knew it was her because that's her symbol. Is her, that we talked about this before she actually left, was a moth. And then she was standing to my right when I looked around, but she was a little bit more ethereal. But that was her message, was, Marie, there's a new chapter starting in your life. And I knew. And she didn't say a word to me, whereas in the first dream I'd had of her, she didn't say much. There was only actually a couple of times she said things, and otherwise she acted rather than spoke. So I'd really love to know how everyone else has experienced their loved ones. And
yeah. Marie, I didn't pick up on that last week, but you've just said about that moth, and I always remember my mother used to write at the end of letters and things. She had little nicknames for us, like my sister was the butterfly catcher. I can't remember what I was actually, but her sign off was always Mothma.
Oh.
Yeah, and yesterday there was a little moth that had found its way inside the house, and it was inside on the screen door. And I was watching it for a while, and I thought, oh, you're quite beautiful. I thought I might just leave you inside just for a little bit longer so I can study you. And then I went over and I said, you want to go outside? I didn't really want to go outside. And then I picked it up and opened the door. And then as soon as you said that, I was just like, oh, there we go. That was definitely
your mum. And this is, isn't it? We will get messages through other people, through situations, through songs, and we'll go, oh, and the messages can be really quite amazing. And what I've noticed is that different souls, depending on their abilities, they can manipulate the energy here. Like they can actually work with whether it's electrical or whether it's the beautiful animals or the moths or the butterflies or whatever it is, music, radio. Yeah, so everyone has got different skills and abilities. So my other beautiful friend that passed nearly 2 years ago now, the first thing she said, as soon as I found out, I just stopped and went into my heart and tuned into her. And she came through straight away and she went, oh, look at this. You can play with all of this stuff. It's amazing. And she was doing all these amazing light energy things with her hands in the other realm. And I went, oh, she's onto it already. And sure enough, she was incredible with what she could come through with for us in the way of messages. So, yeah. So if anyone's got any amazing stories, I'd love to hear them. And I really think it helps us to be more connected and to be more open as well. So we've got Marie on and Lady Hawk. Hello, beautiful ones.
Hi, ladies. Good to have you with us.
Yes. And now, Nick, you did some cards for us. Kathleen's on. Yay. Yeah. Do you want to explain or talk about
I'd love to. And you just said about that. I think when you said about playing with all that stuff in the other realm, we sort of forget that because we haven't had access to it, we've forgotten that once we start remembering, those skills and talents and powers, abilities, whatever you want to call them, will start creeping into our lives in such a subtle way that I think it'll happen in so many ways that we'll just accept it.
Yeah.
And we've used other terms in the past for those sort of things. You have to say, oh, that's just a coincidence, but we're starting to harness that again and learn that we're so powerful that we can create these things. So when you did that, I just got that image and I thought, yeah, this is actually connected to the cards that I've pulled as well. So I want to start with I pulled this from my Witch's Oracle deck. I think you can see it there.
Yes.
And now the Pentacles there is all about the elements, and the elements represent all those aspects that we can utilize in our world. to our advantage. And it's like drawing on what you need in order to progress the other way.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do, hang on a second, sorry. So I'm trying to get you up. It's tricky. No, it's not working, sorry.
And I'm actually holding this up a bit longer because the symbol itself, I always feel that there's coding in symbols. And just by simply looking at something, you get a hit of knowingness that comes through. And of course, the spirit is at the top, you know, in terms of that's something that we're starting to really get in touch with again. And you can't have conversations about this without bringing in spirit. And a lot of people are still scared to touch on that element, to talk about it. But this card is actually about drawing upon our ancestors' wisdom and getting guidance from it. So, you know, I just love that it's like a bag of tricks in a way too, of all the things. And it's up to us to decide what we want to take from it. And then I pulled these two cards in this order, and I asked for a card just for the collective, particularly people that come online here. And this one is the Law of One card. And for those that know or understand the Law of One, it's our connection between, I guess, I think sometimes we're too busy in our bodies, we forget where we've come from. So it's connecting back to that oneness, that God consciousness. So once again, I feel like we're being told from all of our lineage and our ancestors to say, don't forget where you came from, and don't forget all the skills and the wisdom that you have within you as well. And then following up with that one, I got this one, and this made me laugh because I thought, oh no, it's asking me to pick that direct card underneath it. And it was the Hall of Records. And that to me was a real sense of completion of the information about insights and wisdom from our ancestors. All those incarnations that we've had in our past, present and future are all coming now to the fore, and we're dipping back into all those talents and skills once again. So I think it's really quite beautiful what's happening at the moment. And, you know, I think once again, we can ask our ancestors to come in, and even though you may not see them, to give us something that helps support and guide us. They're always there to help us.
And we just were talking about this briefly before the show, and it came through, and I was getting the hit at the same time that Nick was going to say something. So I thought today what we could do is actually a meditation where we do connect into our lineage, and whether that's our DNA lineage, our soul lineage, I think whatever's appropriate or perfect will come through. So I think we'll talk through a few, you know, dreams and things first, and then I'd love to do that sort of maybe, you know, sort of just after halftime through the show, we'll do that. So if you're watching it afterwards, I'll always run energy when I'm doing that to help people to go into that beautiful state of openness and being present. So you will still get that as well, even if you're watching this afterwards. But and Kathleen, I'm glad you're on because I know you've shared a lot of dreams with us. And but I was sort of hoping, you know, that we could actually you would have some stories for us around what you've noticed in general. So, Nick, do you want to read that?
We have had some great dreams from Kathleen in the last couple of weeks. I have a lot of dreams with deceased loved ones, but I think I've shared them already. After my grandma died, she was a paraplegic. She showed up walking, and I was like, wow, you can walk. And she changed right back to her wheelchair, so I was comfortable seeing her. Isn't that a great example of how they present themselves to us that we feel comfortable with, that we can connect with, but also showing the possibilities of what it's like to go back into that divine blueprint of ourselves.
Exactly. So, you know, I know an ex-partner of mine, when he passed over, he'd had motor neuron disease and he couldn't talk apparently. And when he came through with another friend of mine, ours that had passed over, sort of, he was still not talking. So, but then I realized he actually didn't talk. He never talked anyway when I tried to communicate with him and ask him what it was like and what was going on. So it's interesting. I sort of have found that a lot of them don't talk anyway in that dream state. So, so Kathleen, can you remember though if they actually talked with you or if they were just giving you that communication? Was it through actions? Was it through symbols? If you can just sort of cast your mind back to when you did have those dreams, because I know you're very, very open to them and you do receive them. So, here we go. So she popped something up.
She told me in a dream one time that she chose to be in a wheelchair her whole adult life because she accomplished amazing things in her life. Well, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a soul's choice, a soul's desire to have that experience. So, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, isn't it? Thanks, Kathleen.
Yeah.
I play this little game sometimes where I think if I was on the other side of the veil and if I had crossed over, what would I do or say to someone I know, like someone close to me? Like, how would I come to them in a dream and what would I tell them? And, it comes down to the one thing every time. So don't worry if you don't get a message because it's a feeling. And I think, you want to really make an impact, but you don't want to scare them off. And I think overwhelmingly it would be just that feeling of love, to send them that feeling of love, which is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious.
Exactly. And I feel when my friend did this last week, when she came through and I opened the books, I love reading and she knows that. So, and this moth flew out. So straight away I was getting a warning, hey, Jane's here, so, and I turned around and she was there. So it wasn't bang, she was in my face straight away. It was this, oh yeah. So I think you're right. It's like giving that little warning and then whatever it is,
yeah, exactly.
to help them with or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and Marie's also.
Sometimes songs in dreams, and by the song I know which loved one. Other times I don't hear but feel words. Wow. That's really interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So yeah, and this is what I mean when I actually stopped and looked at everything. I went, wow, this is something that I feel could be a pattern or a way of them communicating, but it's usually not verbally. So
I'm just getting a massive hit in my ears just then. Because I was thinking, it's like a confirmation too about the songs. The songs to me bring joy. So if you had to bring words into a person's dream, a song is such a beautiful way to do it because it's like poetry. You only need a few words, and then it tends to get the feeling. It's like when you listen to music, you get very emotional sometimes with the words.
Oh yeah, it really triggers, doesn't it? It's an anchor for an emotion. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And Kathleen, this is amazing. So, and this is why I think, when we see people that maybe have got a physical or a mental or emotional disability, it can often be one of the most amazing things that happens. So, do you want to read? This is incredible.
Yes, this is her grandmother. She helped make laws for the handicapped in our town, first sidewalks with ramps on every corner, and started a club for the handicapped. She also started a hair salon in her house in the 40s. Isn't that incredible? What foresight.
I know, I just got goosebumps. Yeah, beautiful. And, this is why souls that are maybe a little bit stronger will take on these sort of disabilities, if you want to call them that, so that they can be they can be, what do you call it, wave breakers. They can change. They can be change makers. And so, they do it from that point of view. They're not just coming into experience not being able to use the body in full capacity. It's just so powerful. And that's just, to me, that's being of service. It's just beautiful. So, yeah, but
Angel Laurie's joined us. Hi.
Hi, Angel Laurie. And who else came on that? Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Marie's actually got something as well here.
So Marie's saying, argued in mind with husband, was staying at his youngest. Bad situation for me. Went to leave. He wanted me to stay for her. Said, what about me? Left, he was upset. Didn't feel him for a while. She did pass, but even staying couldn't have helped her.
Right. So was this in real life, Marie, when you were staying with your husband at his youngest? Or was this afterwards? What are you getting, Nick, from that? I'm just a little bit...
Well, the more I read into that, I thought it was went to leave, he wanted me to stay for her, said, what about me? That feeling of what about me seems to be that's more a dream state.
Right. Okay.
Term. So, yeah. To be honest, the first thing I got from all of this is that these sort of dreams, when we have these, there's a bit of conflict in them. I think it's there to sort of prod us a little bit to say, hang on, look at yourself first and do what you need to do to fix yourself up. Don't worry about everybody else. And because if you're constantly doing the external work for people, you're forgetting about yourself, and then you're not actually being very helpful. So husband had passed years ago in real life. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So you beautifully said then, Nick. That's amazing. So was there still some conflict going on, Marie? Yeah, for you with situations. I know there's things that have happened, even with my beautiful friends that have passed, and I go, oh, that was a tough a scenario we experienced together. So we're still being alive. We're still going to have that in our subconscious or our psyche. So yeah.
And what cords have been cut? What cords still need to be cut? Because not everybody passes over with a complete clear slate. They still, they're like asking for you to cut those cords, to let go of those thought patterns, to break free, so you can become who you truly need to be.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it is about us. It's like what's right for us, especially if we're givers. We tend to need to be reminded to look after ourselves first.
Yeah, and Marie's also put there, so she did pass, but even staying couldn't have helped her. So there it is in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's it. You would have just lost your energy. So yeah, and wow. And I think when you have had a partner and they've passed over, and there are children that you're still maybe, or people from his maybe previous, that you're still caring for or have an interaction with, I think that's when it's really hard as well. It's like there's just such different dynamics then to be aware of. So I'm just getting the hit to pull a card with this one. It's really interesting. Wheel of Fortune. I think that says it all. There's a season and a reason for everything, and it's time to move forward. And you exactly right. We've got to do what's right for us moving forward within our world and our life as well. Wow. So thanks for sharing that. I think it's really, really important that we actually talk about this sort of stuff and allow it to come up.
Yeah. I appreciate when people can express things that other people would feel very vulnerable in sharing.
Yeah,
we're past that point now. Otherwise, you're just holding on to stuff that you don't need.
No, there's no point. There's no judgment. It is what it is, literally, and you're just here to experience. That's all it is.
Because we've already been forgiven on the other side. We're the only ones holding up the process.
Yes, yeah. So, okay. So thanks, Angel Laurie, for that. I'm going to go back now and we're going to start with the dreams that got emailed through to me. So we'll start with Nick's beautiful friend, Jade. Do you want to start?
Jade was going to try to get on this morning. She might pop on at the very end, and then she'll have to go back and rewatch. But
well, do you want me to wait till the end to put this on or not?
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm here now. Okay. So Jade had, after I think it was last week, and she said, I've had this dream, and I said, that's a perfect one. Why don't you, rather than me doing them with you, send it in, because I thought there were some really good examples here that other people could draw from. So she's standing in a classroom, and to my right, a clear window looking into another classroom. A 2-litre water bottle was on the desk. Inside, a skinny, weak bird, a noisy miner, gasping for air from a 5-centimetre air pocket, I think it was. Yeah, it sank to the bottom, then rose again before resinking on repeat. Just kept going up and down. Devastated, but thought, that's what they do here, science. I wouldn't allow it, so I went outside onto a fragile rooftop, climbed along, found a pair of scissors and a few keys hanging from it, and then on the ground walked along towards the bird. Children asking what I was doing. Freeing the bird. They said, we're not allowed. And I told them, I don't care, I'm doing it, it's wrong. They excitedly called their friends over. We were an alliance to help the bird.
Beautiful. And so I'm going to look up Jade's decode, and then we'll have a look at it. And if anyone has any ideas or got any little hits during that, let us know.
Yeah, so this was important because I think the first time people don't think to do their own decode, they don't have that trust in themselves, but she's getting that trust now. So that was really great that she said, I should question everything, challenge systems, speak up, do the right thing for all, pure intentions, liberate myself and others, supported by those who are not her, for example, children.
I love it. It's so good, and it's true. I mean, and I think as we're so compassionate with animals, when we have a dream that's got like an animal or a bird or something in it, and it's being almost tortured, or it's not right. I think it's sometimes easier for us to act on that before it even is for another human. I don't know, but that's just what I tend to see. So yeah, it's
It is. It also brings people together. So it's sort of like if somebody's in pain, we tend to start to put all these filters on it. But if it's an animal, everybody will run along and start to help it. And it breaks down all those barriers. So yes, it's certainly a way to get information to you.
true. And I'm just looked up bird in our beautiful book, our Betty Bethard's book, and the bird is spiritual freedom, Jade. It's where are we? Ability to soar to higher awareness, freedom from material ties. And, that's exactly what this dream was exemplifying for you, which is amazing. So, yeah, so it's, and the fact that we had scissors. So what do scissors do? They cut ties and cords, and sometimes it's to different situations that we're leaking energy if we haven't been acting on something. Other times, to me, it's like we're tethered to the ground. And the fact that this was sort of like a spiritual dream, it almost means to me as well, I'm getting this feeling that you've been set free. You've allowed yourself to be set free so you can then experience things in a different way. So, yeah. So,
and the keys are the ability to open up to a new dimension or new challenges or new ideas. It's something that is allowing you to move forward. And like the window, looking through the clear window is another way to come into a new reality, a new consciousness. It's also a
clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The classroom represents that. The learning environment. You're learning something new, and you're coming into a new way of being.
Absolutely. And I mean, this might look like a really simple dream. It's actually very deep, got a lot of deep messages, in it when you break it down. And this is the beauty of it. So it's interesting. I just pulled some cards for you, Jade, with that dream. And the first card that actually jumped out is our Six of Wands. Now, to me, this is, I'll just get rid of the, sorry, hang on a second. I'll just get rid of the comments so we can see. So it's a Six of Wands. Now, to me, this is a victory. So there's actually been a victory with this. And that's certainly, you might have been having a hard time with that. You might have, even I'm getting it might not have even just been this lifetime. This Knight of Wands tells me there's been a bit of a journey that's been a bit tough with a spiritual aspect. So this is what I'm getting as well for you. And then I love it. We've got our Eight of Pentacles. So something's still being worked on. So in your reality, you're working on this, but it's like you've had this victory, this break, this freedom. So well done. That's gorgeous.
And that working on, Marie, is probably indicated by the sinking and rising of the bird in the bottle, gasping for air each time, but knowing, if the fact is you can easily take the lid off a bottle and allow it to be freed. And the fact that you just kept pursuing it, you kept moving forward with the idea that you're going to release it, which means that you've dedicated yourself to doing that.
And of course, the water can be emotions. So it's really, dipping into the emotion and then coming up for the air. So check your emotional responses to things as well, Jade. So see, are you reacting or are you responding? So
perfect advice. Yeah, very good. Yeah. So thank you for allowing me to share that. It was a
thanks,
good dream.
Jade. Love it. So, and if you've got other friends that have dreams, bring them here. This is where we all learn from it. So yeah, it's awesome. Now, Angel Laurie sent one of her amazing adventure dreams in.
Hey, what's this going to bring? So not in another realm or parallel world, but the here and now. Humanity had changed due to the fact that some amongst us are not human. There were beings that could shapeshift. We call them skinwalkers. They were malevolent and only dogs could detect them. Thor, my husky, was with me and we were traveling with a caravan of people that had some dogs too. We escaped being unalived and by these beings and picked up survivors along the way. We were trying to reach an ocean as these beings didn't like large bodies of water.
Interesting, isn't it? So
I don't like those emotions.
I know. And I'm just going to look at Angel Laurie's decode before we go into it.
Yeah, skinwalkers in Navajo culture, a skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. The term is never used for healers. The Yi Naudlushi, translating to by means of it goes on all fours, is one of several types of skinwalkers within the Navajo beliefs malevolent.
Yeah. And then there was just another aspect to it, which I thought was beautiful.
Woke up at 6:42, your guardian angels are speaking to you through your divine language of numbers, and 6:42 is their message of love and support. Embrace the magic and let it guide you towards a life filled with balance, abundance, and joy. Isn't that fantastic?
I know. I love it. And this is another thing, guys. Notice the time when you, even when you go to sleep, I'll often just have a quick look. I go, of course, it's like 11:11 or it's something like that. But when you wake up as well, have a look at the time. If you can, if it sort of comes to you, just to quickly have a look, because I think you can get messages. I know, Angel Laurie, you obviously get some of your messages from your angel numbers through here. So, yeah. So look, this was amazing. And again, it seems quite a simple dream, even though it's, you can see there's a lot of action and things going on. And I did cut it down a little bit, but I love, just to start it, I love that it's actually in the here and now. And so to me, in a way, this is almost the subconscious tapping into us as humans, because we know we are starseeds. There are beings amongst us that are less human than other. We know that, and I've felt them. I've known when I've been around it, and I think this is great because it's like you tapping into that wisdom that, oh, we are all different, and yes, some aren't maybe as kind and as compassionate as maybe what humanity can be. So, and I love the fact that the dogs could sniff them out. So, and Thor, because normally Thor's in his upscaled version when Angel Laurie and Thor are off traveling in other realms, but because it was this realm, he came through as a husky. So your dog is your loyalty, isn't it, and your protector. So yeah, so look, I feel you're just tapping into something that's like a consciousness almost of who we are as earthlings, whether we're human form completely or not. It doesn't matter. So I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I also think it's highlighting the fact that because we're humans, we feel and we have emotions, and we've probably delved a little bit too deep into our emotions. And we're going to get back to some balance with that in terms of, yes, we do feel, but there's a difference between emotions and feelings. And there are some beings that lost that ability to have that emotion in them, which meant that they went down a different path. Now, is that necessarily good or bad? That's up to interpretation. It was something that they just had to do to evolve, to maybe all we're trying to do is come back to one, which comes back to that card that I pulled about the law of one. We're trying to get back to understanding where we came from and that consciousness. So this is a journey just that you're at the moment, Angel Laurie, where you're just going through this journey, and you have to go through, like we're all going through our own, to experience through dreams as well. Because dreams really bring home clarity. This is what you need to be focusing on right now. So, I know how switched on you are with your own dreams and the meanings because of the way you decode them. But yeah, there's something very strong coming through about the emotional side of all of this.
With the ocean, it's big, yeah, and the fact that the others didn't like the emotional aspect, yeah, I think that's actually quite pertinent. And the fact you're with others in a caravan, so you were traveling in safety of numbers, so yeah. But I know in my lifetime I've gone through different phases, literally, where I've been really connected into and wanting to understand or know about certain aspects, and then once I feel like I've done it, it's like, and it just releases, and then it's something else. So yeah, I think we all go through these amazing phases. So I think you're getting just your insights through your dream journeys, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pull some cards for you on this one as well. Let's just see what comes through for you, Angel Laurie. Come up. Beautiful. that one. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're getting lots of yeses with this. I'll show you the cards. I always like to do 3. It just gives that sense of, I think it's you. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So let me just get rid of this. So the first one that came up was this, which is our beautiful 4 of Wands. This is where you're in a safe place, you know, you're with others, you've built this beautiful castle is there for you to live in, the actions you've taken. Ace of Swords, yes, this is what we've been talking about, and your dream. Yes, it is the truth of your story. This is part of what you're learning and actually remembering and understanding for whatever reason, because when the 4 of Pentacles comes up, this is a foundation that's been set up, and it takes time. So like I said, we go through phases of our lives where we're really interested in one thing and we learn and remember so much about it, and then we can move on to the next one. And that one wanted to come out as well. 3 of Cups, beautiful, emotional, and this is it's like celebrating emotionally. So look, I think, yeah, you're doing a great job. You just stay the course and just know that you'll get whatever information you need and whatever memories you need to help you to then keep moving through life. So, yeah, so thank you. And I love how you do your decoding as well. I think that's fantastic.
And remember, if this was all meant to be easy, we would have done it a long time ago.
I know.
So, you know, we're all here to support each other through whatever cycle we're in, whatever phase we're at. It's just a case of that's what we're doing. We're all different.
Yeah.
Eventually we will all come to a nice balance and still maintain our individuality. But yeah, it's like this will be a record. This is the part of the Akashic record for the future people. You know, when we look at, you know, whatever, I think we're breaking free of those timeline cycles anyway, and we're going back to this heart cycle, and that's what is the difficult shift that we're trying to understand is we have all these memories of things that are happening or have happened, and we're trying to integrate them back into ourselves in order to break free of it. It's very complex.
Yeah. So
the bird is spiritual life.
That bird
the water means nourish it.
Yeah. So, and this is great. It's nice to have like different ways to look at it, and it's whatever resonates as well for the person or for ourselves when we're hearing it, which is beautiful. So yeah. Now it's great. We've got some dreams come up. Let me just go back to the comments and we'll get onto the dreams that are active. Let me see. Okay, so Angel Laurie's got a dream from a friend.
Okay, hi, my friend Jenny Song asked me to submit her dream. Got a dream for you. I was working at an airport and luggage was rolling away from me. I was trying to chase it, but it got away. I think the luggage had some orange and red in it. Ah, there's that old airport.
For me, straight up the airport is spiritual potential. So we are in a place where we're almost ready to learn something new or remember something more spiritually. And luggage, chasing after luggage means you're not ready quite to let go of the old baggage you've been carrying. And the red, and I love that you've added in there, Angel Laurie, that it's orange and red, which is our lower chakras. So the orange is our navel chakra and the red is the base. Now the red to me in a base chakra is about our tribe. So needing to feel like we belong to a tribe. Lineage, again, that word's coming up again here. So it's actually being able to let go of some of the patterns of need around that lineage or that tribe and survival. So I love this. Is such a great dream. Nick, what do you think?
Well, it's funny. I haven't had a dream that I sort of was worth connecting to until this morning. And I thought, well, what isn't it bizarre that I have a dream just before I wake up before the show? And of course, my dream was an alligator that was in a park, and I put it on a bus and took it with me to the airport. And then I thought, everybody else is collecting their luggage. I don't have any luggage. Oh, I mustn't have brought any luggage. So then the alligator, I saw it walk into a shop floor, and it connected with two chameleons and a lizard. And I was sort of laughing about that. And I thought, what is it about these airport dreams? But once again, there's another shift taking place. It's a difference in the meaning of an airport and where you are with it. Like the luggage and the airport go hand in hand. One is saying you're on the brink of stepping on, like a point of departure into new consciousness. And the luggage will determine at what point you're at. Like it's like the journey when you go on a trip. You get in the car to go home, you drive to the airport, you have to go through customs and checking in and all this other stuff. And sort of that's really what this is all about. It's about what phase you're in and what message do you need to consider in terms of moving forward with it. So, yeah, isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I love it. I love that synchronicity. So, and you know, for me, an alligator, we call them crocodiles over here. To me, the crocodile is an archetype. So it actually holds all the wisdom. It's been around the longest on this planet and survived. So it holds the wisdom. So it's interesting you were taking that wisdom with you. So Angel Laurie, I would let Jenny's song know it's time for her to let go of her old patterns and beliefs and her baggage. Let go of it. She can be free then, and she can, I know it's scary, but she can then be free. You don't need baggage to travel. So so thank you for sharing that, and tell Jenny thank you very much for sharing that. It's awesome.
And if you're wondering what it is you need to let go of, just listen to what the mind keeps repeating over and over and over again, and then you're thinking,
Look what just came up. I just
perfect.
This came up for me the other day, and I know there's aspects within me that I know I need to bring up and really have a look at and really own and claim and then love and thank and release. And so maybe get Jenny to exactly what Nick was just saying. Go in and have a look and ask, what aspect is it that I really need to let go of that I've been holding on to? Love it. Brilliant. So
remember, if it's from a fear-based standpoint, start questioning it. What am I fearing? What is it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Fun old journey, this one, the airport.
I love it. Good job.
So Lady Hawk said, everyone from my childhood family have passed. Some of us don't have past loved ones, only a past to let go. I would consider a nightmare if any of them approached me.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. That's it. And this is the thing, isn't it? It's how we all respond, because I guess I've been communicating with people that have passed over for a really long time. So for me, I feel it's really safe. But I had friends that were really, really scared of it. Like they were sensitive to things. And so I just helped them and put it into place and always said, look, you're always protected and you're much stronger anyway. So you're not going to have to worry, So, but yeah.
So considering it a nightmare, as in because of the shock of that being back in your presence, which I can't imagine with you, Lady Hawk, because I know you're very connected, or is it the connection that you had from family back then?
And that's a big experience to have everyone from your childhood family passing. I mean, that's huge. So, that grief would probably cause a lot of trauma. Yeah. So, it's interesting. So thank you. That is such a different perspective. So thank you for putting that up. That's really quite amazing. And, okay. I see what you mean. Now I'm getting it. So so there wasn't a lot of love lost there. So wow. But there can also be a lot of healing as well. Remember, there can be a lot of healing, and for me, it's like, well, if I've actually wanted to experience whatever it is I've experienced in my life, it's like sometimes it's like just forgiving our own soul for wanting that experience. Yeah. So, but thank you for that perspective. Really good to know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Kathleen, let's have a look at your dream.
So Dream got to a camp and we had to leave for a day trip in a school bus. I had to find my ID. It was at the bottom of the pile. I missed the bus, but okay, since there was another after it.
Okay, this is interesting. School again. We're coming back to school, aren't we?
Yes, the classroom and the bus again,
and finding your ID. So it's actually maybe, have you been feeling, Kathleen, that you've maybe lost a bit of your identity? I know you've been going through a shift, and do you feel maybe that you have lost some of your identity? But you knew that there was another bus coming. So I don't know. I'd love to know, Kathleen. I would love to know your decode on this one, because this is really quite specific, is what I'm getting for you. So if you can actually just write down what you took from it. So Nick, is there anything jumps out at you?
yeah, I feel like the ID is because it's a representation of who you are. It's like how you view yourself, and there is something there that obviously, because you've misplaced it, it's more that you haven't recognised that it's there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah,
But you know you're okay with it because you know that confirmation of it. It's okay. There's another bus coming.
yeah,
But it's
that's it. And that's your big potential. It's you're not going to miss the, and that's the thing. We get given so many opportunities. It's like, don't do something like FOMO. You know, there's so many opportunities that are going to come through for us.
good point.
We're not going to miss the bus. I love it. That's actually, I think that's really important as well. So,
And who knows how many messages we've received in our whole lifetime of things that they're constantly going, there's another little, no, you didn't see it. No, you didn't get it. That's okay. We'll keep sending them to you.
we'll send another one. You know,
But they're all coming at once a bit.
sometimes in life, you know, they do say that you get the feather first and then you get the brick and then you get the semi-trailer. So it's like, okay, all right, I'm going to listen for when the feathers come. So funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, Kathleen, let us know.
Yes.
So, and there's a second dream from Kathleen. Good job. Let's get this
At a
one up.
conference at a huge sports hotel complex, got up, someone took my chair, only left was a child's seat. It was time to go and walking through swimming pools, very small aisles, almost fell in. Saw Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep. They hung out there in old age. Al followed my sister around. He looked creepy, lots of makeup, and my brother walked up to him later. I walked through a swimming pool, ruined my purse and phone. What an interesting dream.
Interesting dream. Gosh, we'll have to break this one down. I mean, to me, Zan and I often have dreams about conferences because we used to go to them together. And so what we've come to is that it's actually a place of learning. So I don't know what you get, but everyone might have their own interpretation of that as well. So, and funny, there was only a child seat left, Kathleen. So what does that represent? So if it's this the inner child that's actually coming up, because we know there's been a lot of clearing of wounding and healing of wounding around the inner child, just especially I've noticed just in the last sort of couple of months. And so, you know, maybe this was actually telling you, hey, there's an aspect of your inner child that's actually you're learning something about or you're healing something through this. So, and the swimming pools, water, emotions. So,
yeah, I think there's some clearing or shifting going on. There must have been something about your inner child that was affected emotionally, and I feel there was a restriction in it. That's with the small aisles where you almost fell in, that you felt really limited with that. And I think we've all felt limited in our lives because of restrictions that we've been through. So, and all of these very famous people.
And they're in old age. I love it. So, which, well, they are now, aren't they? They're getting, you know, they've got a few years behind them. So, I mean, are we going to take that as their new guides for you? They don't, you know, are they people that are going to be able to help you to show you something or help guide you? So maybe you are getting some new guides coming through for you, Kathleen, you know, with this clearing and shift and beautiful change that's happening.
And the comment about the makeup too, it's like there's many layers that have having to be removed, and you've noticed that, you've seen that, and you think, okay, well, I can see through the makeup.
Yeah. And what's a purse? Your purse is your identity. And your phone is your communication to spirit, communication, a message. So if there's a phone in your dream, take note, there's a message, spiritual message, especially here for you. So both dreams have actually got a little bit of a link there. So, yeah. So let's have a look and see. Okay, so Kathleen.
Yes. Had several dreams in the past few months about ID and purses.
There you go. So this is, I feel, it's like your own interpretation of yourself, of who you are as well. I don't know. So, yeah, purses and ID. So purses also can mean for, I think, sexuality as well. Let me just have a look, see if there's another interpretation of it. Purse. Your identity. No, it's exactly that. That's what I was getting intuitively as well. If you lose your purse, you are not sure who you are, maybe giving power away to others, or transitioning into new self-concept. Exactly what I was getting intuitively for you and what Nick was saying as well.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yay.
And don't be disheartened if you can't, for anyone here, if you can't work out what it is specifically, because it's probably not any one thing, because
Yes.
we develop habits over time and there's so many aspects to how that was created. So all you know is if you're having these dreams, you're clearing something. It's like letting you know, oh, there's another thing that you can tick off.
Totally. No, and the cards that came through for you are the Six of Cups. This is, to me, you have a choice emotionally. This beautiful little girl's been offered a cup, and she can choose from all the cups down here or the cup she's been given. So it's your choice. And this usually is associated with a village or a family. So it's always your choice, and you've got to give yourself the power, because the Queen of Pentacles then came up. This is you contemplating your own reality, looking for your own self within your reality. It's honestly, it's exactly what, the dream I feel was actually coming through as. So yeah. So go girl, you're in transition. It's fabulous. And it can be a bit uncomfortable sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, but they're great dreams. Thank you. Okay, so now we've got Tamar.
Hi, Tamar. So Mum passed away 18 months ago and I felt drained for about a year. Mum draining my energy off? Question.
Interesting. Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that. It's really tough when mamas go. It's I think it's like nothing I don't feel you'll ever experience in any other way. And I know when my mum passed, I was like, I've never been in this situation, so I just allowed the emotions and everything to happen. But sometimes though, I have actually done sessions with people where they're still connected in through a soul contract, even though their parent, their sister, their mother, whatever it is, their husband has passed. So sometimes it's not your mum draining your energy off. Was there something that wasn't finished on a soul level? And it can still be finished. That's the beauty of it, Tamar. So, grief can do that as well. I mean, grief, I just knew some days I was just going, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be around anyone. Grief can be very draining, especially if you've been suppressing it. So, yeah. So I'm not sure what that one is. That we can have a little look. And Nick, anything intuitively coming through for you?
Yeah, I'm getting a feeling that because when you have grief, sometimes other things latch onto that grief at the same time. It's like a vehicle to let go of the grieving for something else. So I feel that there's something more that you're actually grieving, not just your mother.
Mm-hmm. The Justice cards come up, Tamar, so that what Nick just said, it actually resonates with this card. So there's something that maybe do you feel at a deep, it could even be subconscious, do you feel that there's something that wasn't fair? There's something that actually wasn't really taken into account or finished or completed for you? That's what I'm feeling is, yeah. So as Nick was saying, that card has come up. So yeah. So Four of Wands, again, this to me is having a safe place, taking action to make sure that you feel secure and safe wherever you are, wherever you're choosing to live. It's like a home base, safe home base. Ten of Pentacles. I feel there's a little bit of work for you to do, because this is a fabulous card. This is really abundant. This is everything in your reality will change. I would personally sit down and actually go in deep. I'm actually going to be doing a meditation really soon, and so I think this could be very, very relevant for you, Tamar.
Yes. Tamar has written some comments here, Marie.
Okay.
Said, after Mum passed, I dreamt of her for about a year, and we always had to travel to somewhere and sometimes ate. Any interpretations? And he also wrote that, and Mum never spoke a word in those dreams.
Yeah, exactly, and that's important. So to me, what's happening is you're actually still sharing this journey. There is still a connection, and you're nourishing. So when you're eating, you're nourishing. It's nourishment. So maybe she knew you were feeling tired, and so she was actually helping. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah,
she was helping you energetically to support you through your dreams. I'm getting goosebumps. When that happens, I know I'm channeling something for you. So she was actually helping you, honey. She wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
No. So there you go. So that might be really nice for you to be able to let that go. you know, whether it was grief or something with that justice card that has unfinished business for you that's happened. Yeah. So no,
Yeah,
she's
I'm feeling beautiful love coming through for you too. I
amazing.
think, yeah, she's here now about, helping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So no, you can let go of that one. That's yeah, it's cool. So okay. Yeah, so Marie actually agreed with you, Nick.
Yeah, cascading effect on us, bringing up unresolved things. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does
it
that.
does. Really
It's like a little
does.
release valve, and sometimes it's like not a little. Psh, it's a. Psh,
I know. And you don't know when it's going to come through next. And, you know, I mean, I was blessed enough that I had so many people to support me energetically and, you know, that I had the wisdom to know that when my heart was hurting, it was physically hurting. You know, someone said to me, just take that hurt and really push it out. Think of it as being a gift to open up any blocks in your heart. So, and I did. I used it. So that was something that really helped me. And I did read a clinical study because, of course, I still have that side of me. And they've done a study on grief, and they found that having a Panadol and a cup of tea can actually help ease the physical pain of your heart. So there you go. Yeah, I know. And I've used that too a couple of times because I don't usually take Panadol or anything. I mean, oh, bugger it, I'm over this. And so, oh, it was so amazing. Our heart physically hurts because of that pain, that grief. So, and everything gets released through the heart. This is how I believe anyway. From the etheric, physical, any pain, anything, any emotion will go through the heart. So when you've got these huge waves of emotion coming through our heart, it's working hard. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, and this is really interesting that Tamar's
Well, we had deep love towards each other.
yeah, and you could feel it, you know, that came through. It was so beautiful. So yeah, oh yeah, it's really emotional. So you just know she loves you and know she did not drain you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Um uh and Kathleen's got something beautiful here.
When my mum died, I was in a big hole, and I knew when I was ready to come out, there were many hands reaching for me. I was numb. A year later, my husband died, so I was able to help my kids through that.
Wow, that's a huge couple of years, Kathleen. That's like one on top of the other, isn't it? Whoa. I mean, you know, you look at our experiences here, and so we have to be so strong sometimes, and yet still be vulnerable to be able to feel the emotion of it and own it, and yet, you know, go through. I mean, I've had 4 friends die in the last 18 months, and really close. So it's like this is just a temporary experience at the end of the day, and I'm just grateful I can still talk to them. If I, you know, it's yeah. So. Um, yeah, so that's beautiful. But so I think it might be time. What do you think, Nick, for me to if we do that, we do a really nice little meditation where we can connect in to our lineage and to our loved ones and just allow the lineage to come through as it comes through. Don't push this. I would just whatever's perfect will come through. So I'll always hold a space of love and energy when we're running this. So if you're on live now or if you're watching this afterwards, I want you to just get yourself comfortable. If you're driving, don't do this. So just make sure you're sitting or lying comfortably. I want you to take a big breath in through your nose. And as you breathe out, just let yourself drop deeply into your body. Deep, deep. Another breath in through your nose. And this time as you breathe out, let your attention come deeply into your soul, connecting in with the soul aspect of us. And now ask your divine wisdom, your divine being, to come through to help guide you as you ask to be connected into your lineage. Again, whether this is your lineage through DNA or through soul, group, or both. And just open your heart as this beautiful family, this lineage comes through. However they come through for you is perfect. Whatever you're feeling, if you have an emotion, allow yourself to feel it. And if certain beings of your family, your lineage, want to come through to connect to you, and you're open to that. Allow them in, knowing that they are only there with love to support you. And if they have any words or feelings or gifts or anything to help you to remember, to release any pain, any patterns, that it's time now to be released from your lineage, just thank it, love it, and just release it to the divine, God. And then any beautiful gifts and talents that come through your lineage that it's now time to bring through. Open your heart, open your soul to have these gifts remembered and activated for you in this here and now. And now thank your lineage, thank your family, your soul family, for being with you, for supporting you and loving you. And let them go and be wherever it is they choose to go and be. As you gently begin to bring yourself back into the here and now, wriggling your toes, focusing on your breath, grounding yourself back through. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Wow. Oof.
Mm.
How did that feel for you?
Oh, well, I'm sure everyone else felt the same thing to some degree, because when we're talking about ancestors, they're there, whether you feel them or not. Yeah, there was some good shifting going on as well, I felt.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps through all this. So you're welcome. So if you did experience something and you want to share it, just pop it in the comments. It was beautiful. So yeah, but yeah, and like Angel Laurie's mum passed away when she was 3. I mean, that's huge. What a incredible journey that you chose to have here without your mum with you physically. So yeah. Yeah, and this is interesting.
Emma says yes, and I believe Mum would come back as my daughter. Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting, Tama, because we can have an aspect of a soul. It doesn't have to be the whole soul. There can be a slither. This is what I've learned. Because I've seen souls. Even before I was a midwife when I was a child, I could see souls going in and out of people's tummies if they were pregnant. So something I remember, I don't know if I told you, but we were having a barbecue with our next door neighbours one day, and I was about 9, and I was looking at her tummy. She was about 42, and back then that was quite a bit older. And I was going, oh, she's got a baby in her tummy. So I went up to her and I said, oh, Mrs. X, have you got a baby in your tummy? And she went, no. It was about 6 to 8 weeks later they came out and said, oh yes, we're pregnant. But that beautiful baby only got to about 28 weeks and it passed. But I could see the soul coming in and out. So I know that aspects of souls can definitely come back through lineage, especially Tama. So that's it may very well happen. I agree. So
yeah. And these are some of the insights we might know in the future. We might be remembering.
Yeah. So okay. So sorry, Angel Laurie. The actual message wasn't finished. So she said when she was 30. Yeah, and being the eldest had to be strong with 2 baby sisters. Yeah.
Still exactly. A very young age to lose your mum.
Still young. And when you've got that responsibility, like I said, this can sometimes happen. Like Kathleen had her mum pass and then her husband a year later, and yet she was the one that was strong for the kids. And yeah, I think we're all strong souls, man. I mean, we were, I think, because I remember saying to God once, why couldn't I have been born into a beautiful hippie family that just were like happy and ate mung beans and then the message I got back was because you would have been bored, brainless, and it would have been
Yeah,
a waste of your life. And I went, oh
exactly.
yeah, it's true. So,
Yeah,
our soul actually wanted experiences.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
actually gratitude's been the focus for me all week about everything. It's just being grateful for everything that presents itself, no matter how hard it might feel, how challenging, how the unknown is. Just be grateful. And then
Yeah.
once you do that, the moment you do that, you step back into the heart and everything's okay.
That's beautifully said, Nick. And I think on that note, we might leave it. There's so much more. I feel this is such a
Oh,
deeper,
yeah.
deeper subject we could go
Yeah.
into. So, if you're watching this afterwards, you can do that little meditation and connection into your lineage whenever you want. I love doing it when I'm flying, when I'm in a plane, because I feel like, I don't know why, I just love it. And I can just see them stretching for endlessly, so look, just feel like you can do this at any time. So just know that. And I'll feel into it. We might even just keep this sort of discussion going next week, I think. So ask for your dreams, do some decoding, and send them in for us. And we love you. You're so loved.
And there's a question there from Tracy, and we'll get to that next week too.
Okay. Oh, did I miss it? Okay. No, yeah. I'll find it and we'll write it
Because
down.
I don't think it's one we want to do quickly. I think it's a great question. It's a whole new topic.
Okay, because I know Tracy had to leave. She left work early to get on. So sorry, honey. We'll do that for you next week. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. Lots of love to you all.